What does Matthew Berry think of Austin Ekeler? Ekeler is another player that I absolutely love in 2020. Intro. Top 5 running back.
You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.
Take a lap. Ekeler is another player that I absolutely love in 2020, and I feel like he also has like baked in no risk type of value, because this is a guy that not only you can't even call him this year's version of Dalvin Cook because he finished in the top 5 last year, yet people are ranking him in the 12 to 18 overall range. I don't see how you don't go at 12 and 13 Drake Ekeler and not feel crazy good about that combo in 2020. I don't care if I'm reaching high for Drake.
Listen, I think Austin Ekeler winds up being a first-round pick by the time we get to August. And honestly, if he's not, it means people like myself and you might have not done a good enough job. Because I'm going to be banging the drum for him too. Like, I have him as a top 10 player overall. I think, first off, the guy was a monster last year without Melvin Gordon. And obviously Melvin Gordon is now in Denver. But even beyond that, from week 5 on, when Melvin Gordon was there, Melvin Gordon returned to week 5 on. From week 5, right? From week 5 on, Austin Ekeler was the 5th best running back in fantasy with Melvin Gordon there. And now Melvin Gordon isn't there. And I know the anti-Austin Ekeler argument is this. It's twofold. Number one is it's that, they're just going to replace Melvin Gordon with Justin Jackson. Like, it's going to be a committee. Maybe they draft somebody or whatever, but it's going to be a committee. Okay, fine. Again, he was the 5th. Whoever they replace Melvin Gordon with ain't going to be as good as Melvin Gordon. And the guy was the 5th best running back in fantasy with Melvin Gordon on his team. The other anti-argument is Tyrod Taylor, right? And that they don't think that Tyrod Taylor is much more of a, for lack of a better phrase, Brett Favre, Josh Allen, kind of chuck it, street ball type player, right? That he's much more likely to throw it deep than he is to sort of dump it off the way that like a Phillip Rivers was. And that maybe he doesn't get nearly as many dump off receptions. And I guess my reaction to that is twofold. Number one is, I don't know that Tyrod Taylor is the starting quarterback the entire year. We'll see what the Chargers do in the draft. I think there's a better than average chance
Newton
that
maybe
draft someone high, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the other piece of it is that Tyrod Taylor and Anthony Lynn are not stupid. Like, you don't sign Austin Ekeler to the contract that you signed him to retain him and not use him. Like, if you're Tyrod Taylor and you're running around looking for somebody, you know that Austin Ekeler is a weapon. And so, I don't know. I think Anthony Lynn and that offensive staff will find ways to get the ball in Austin Ekeler's hand. Why would you not?
And the way
He's such a star.
The way I look at it is, okay, so maybe he won't get 108 targets. Maybe he won't get 92 receptions because Rivers laser locked onto him like Ben Roethlisberger locked onto AB. So there's the potential drop off, but he's never had over a 557-yard rushing season. He's going to be run a lot more. I think it washes. Anything he loses in receptions, he gains in touchdowns, and he had, 13 total touchdowns. I think he'd easily replicate that and get you, 808? 807? 708? It's going to be a 1,500 total yard season regardless, right?
Here's a crazy stat for you. Since the start of 2018, Austin Ekeler is 6th among running backs in yards per rush after first contact. You don't think about that with Austin Ekeler, right? You think, he's elusive, he's a good pass catcher, he's fast. Yeah. 6th among running backs in yards per rush after first contact since 2018. Like, he's a tough guy. He's a tough guy, and to your point, they're not scared about running him up the middle. Like, he got some goal line work last year. Once Melvin Gordon came back, they used him that way as well. Obviously, Melvin Gordon, I think, has 24 touchdowns in his last 25 games or 23 in his last 24, something like that. I mean, some ridiculous rate. But Eckler's not somebody that they're scared of going off tackle.
I like Gordon a lot, by the way. You mentioning Gordon. I think Gordon in Denver's like sneaky good. Top 5 running back.
You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.
take a lap.